I think I can just expect the normal setup. Well, not in the streams, in the matches we watch. On the other hand, I do expect some kind of jungle invade from purple team with Blitzcrank.
Thirty seconds until minions spawn.
This is going to be interesting. Wow. Kills go to Ren and Misfortune. Both teams won't have any problems on that. We'll probably see a bit of stagnating gameplay in the next few minutes. Some lanes going interesting. Yorick is a bit of a continuous annoying damage, especially early game, while Vladimir is really a late game character. After level 9, after he has 5 levels on his Q, he will start dealing tons of damage without any decent cooldown. Yorick is already low on mana. Yorick already died once. That is a bit of an issue. And vice versa. Yeah, it's a bit disadvantage you have as Talon. You don't have much mana, and Riven can just spam her spells without any costs in the end. Kevin still can't hear you, apparently. You're an idiot.
Right, is this better? Can people actually hear me now?
You see a gang coming off? Will it be successful? No. Riven just jump by using whatever she can.
Riven is annoyingly hard to gank. She has so much escape abilities. You do see that she went back and she went for Vampire Scepter and for Cloth Armor and some consumables. If Talon doesn't come back now, she might do a hell of a lot of damage when she comes back in lane on him. Neither of the teams bot lane make any inclinations as to wanting to gank, but there's Nocturne, and that just wasted Blitzcrank's flash.
We still don't see very aggressive plays after those first bloods. All the summoners are back, or have been back, and still both teams are keeping it moderate.
It's especially surprising that Blitzcrank is being so passive in lane. Mid lane's gonna be the lane where most of the aggression is happening this game.
Mid lane, on the other, is going to be interesting now. Both players have their ultimates up now, so it can escalate there any minute.
Yeah. Oh, that is the grab they were waiting for, and that is probably a dead miss. That is... No? Her flash
No,
actually
she
saved?
gets away.
Oh,
no,
that
she doesn't.
was a very nice aggressive play from Caitlyn. Trading the turret's damage was well worth it.
And we also see
meanwhile
things
Riven...
going on mid lane right now. No, they both back up. But Xin Zhao is going to try to gank Talon. Well, also
But
Nocturne is coming
Nocturne
from the
is
other
there,
side.
and Riven actually flashes but misses her stun afterwards, and she's dead. She is very much dead, and Xin is going to be as well if he's not. Xin is probably going to die here.
They will pick off Xin.
Yes. No. Oh. That was
Yeah, he made a
unfortunate.
miss there, but
That was unfortunate that Nocturne had to flash there.
yeah, he made a miss, but it's worth it if he plays.
Oh, it is
careful
absolutely
for now.
worth it. There's a 500 gold difference, which basically can be traced back to that one extra kill QMX has.
Nocturne is ultimate now. Wards won't stop him anymore. This is going to be interesting. How often will he gank? How heavy will he gank? Especially on bot lane.
I don't think he needs to gank top at the moment. Vladimir seems to have everything under control.
Nor mid, but on the other hand lane, if they can shut down Caitlyn, that game is going to be won.
On the other hand, Yorick has not gone back yet to shop. He is currently sitting on 1.6k gold, which means that he can just pick up a Tear of the Goddess and boots, and Fortune just ultied Caitlyn and Blitzcrank, who both took a lot of damage from it. I'm assuming she just
But they
won.
both survived, and
Yes.
it's not going to pay off. They can hug the turret for now, and if they will soon be healed up using a few health potions, and it's done.
Oh, that is the Nocturne gank you were saying. Although, not sure if that was worth it.
I don't think it was worth it.
Sure, they got an assist, whereas Alloy didn't, but it is a questionable dive, especially because Vladimir could have tanked the turret for a
This
few
may
more.
be a move from QMX.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
definitely.
that is.
That was way too greedy. Way too greedy.
This
We
is.
saw that before. Misfortune from QMX is very greedy, gets cocky, and it doesn't always work out that way.
No, but all of a sudden Yorick comes back to lane with a Tear of the Goddess, and Vladimir is having a much harder time against him. Although the damage being traded is heavily in Vladimir's favor. As soon as Vladimir has his ultimate again, I'm assuming he's not going to go back before his ultimate comes back. and he's just going to ult ignite Yorick once he can. Unless Talon gets there.
Talon is on his way.
Talon is on his way, so if he gets there in time.
And Yorick doesn't know this. He doesn't know this. Doesn't have wards up.
No. He might get a kill on one of them, but
No, that won't happen.
Not at all.
Vladimir should be able to get away.
Yes, but mid is trading damage. Riven is... no. Riven is trying to get on Nocturne, but Nocturne is just keeping a fair amount of distance.
We see elevation from blue side right now. Will that work out or not? No, both teams just withdraw. Well, Riven does use the ultimate.
Well, Riven's ultimate is on a low enough cooldown that she can just use it at her leisure, especially if he wants to just recall after she pushes that lane. She is sitting on a nice chunk of gold. She has already completed a ninja tabby, but to counteract it, Talon does have the brutalizer.
We see QMX on the hand gaining a little bit of an advantage on the gold gain, about 1k. They are slowly making a bigger and bigger advantage on gold, as we've seen in their previous games.
Yeah, especially if you see which champions have the advantage. It's, well, AD carry bot lane is pretty much even, but if you notice, Talon is just slowly creeping up on gold, and especially Vladimir is just exponentially getting ahead of Yorick in gold. But once again, junglers have not really made that big of an impact in this game. We've seen
it will late game if Vlad survives now and Yorick doesn't get a kill.
We've seen a few decent. Oh no, and there's.
Oh, that
was
gank on bot lane.
A nice gank indeed.
Which will pay off.
That is a double kill for Fortune. That is something Alloy absolutely did not want, especially if they are going to lose top lane as well.
Look at damage Vladimir does to Xin Zhao. Only 1 Q and Xin Zhao is a third of his health lost.
Yes, and look how much Yorick got away on. He nearly died as well. This opens up Dragon for QMX pretty much uncontested, which gives them an even bigger gold lead, over 3k all of a sudden. And Riven is in a very bad spot. Riven is not getting out of there alive.
Very bad spot. They really lack the wards on the real targets on purpose.
However, yeah, and Vladimir just doesn't care.
And right now, a few moments ago, we saw a 1k advantage of blue team. Right now, that has already grown to 4k gold in just a few minutes. That is a lot.
It is going to be hard for Alloy to get back from this. Now Caitlyn and Fortune are only about 10 creeps behind, well, apart from each other. But when you see the difference you have top, Vladimir has about 35 more minions than Yorick.
Vladimir has almost 5k gold. Yorick still doesn't have 3.5. That's 1.5k difference in gold. That is a lot of ability power.
And QMX hasn't even decided to build defensive items yet. As soon as we get a bit later in the game and they build armor, I'm afraid Alloy's damage will just not be enough to counteract theirs. Riven once again in a bit of a bad spot, but this time she will not die for it. Nocturne just getting in way too fast, doing damage, getting out again. some things in Zhao doesn't have the ability to. Oh, but that is, however, probably a dead Tarek. Oh no, that was an absolute amazing turnaround. Caitlyn did get Tarek, but
Yes, but misfortune. Yeah, got a
look
double
what
kill.
happens there.
If she wants, she can push the turret out right now.
Oh yes. And that is
mid.
just Talon.
Taylor is just slaughtering them.
Talon has a black cleaver and just wins the game by default.
Yeah, that item a little bit overpowered.
Armor penetration as a whole is currently in a bit of a weird spot. Yorick knows that he can't stay around. He's 2 levels behind on Vladimir. And it's even worse, Caitlyn is also 2 levels behind on Fortune. There's basically an overall 2-level disadvantage to Alloy, who just picked up 3 turrets, making the gold leads a whopping 8k.
Yeah, the cool is a lot. I don't think Vladimir even cares for Caitlyn. He's 2 levels above her.
He has his Will of the Ancients. Look what he just did to him with 1 transfuse. Caitlyn is doing a fair amount of damage, but just not enough.
Not enough to even make Vladimir think about not staying there.
Vladimir has his pool, Vladimir has his ultimate. And, well, Riven had a nice advantage early game, she is just throwing it away.
That was worth it from Taylor. Definitely not.
That is... And there we have the pool, just completely negating damage.
Oh wow, and Tarek and his Fortune move in. Probably...
Fortune did however get pulled during her ultimate, but...
His Fortune didn't place very well, but in the end it doesn't even matter.
The damage is just... That is nice before 20 minutes, that is not good at all. I mean, just look at the map coverage. Climax has a fair amount of the enemy jungle warded, whereas
I think
Alloy
we
has...
see a replay of the previous semi-final where Climax also
Alloy has
heavily,
1 ward.
heavily winning.
But this time they might have to be a bit more careful about overstaying their welcome in the enemy base. They are low, and if you get pickoffs like that, are going to be problematic. Once again, Vladimir was getting a bit too greedy and dying because of it. If only they knew Fortune was recalling a bush away on low health. Oh, yes, 1 combo just takes Riven to about 66 to 50% of her health. The only advantage Alloy has in comparison to the semi-final we saw is that they have not actually lost their inhibitor. However, they are 5 turns behind and they need to be doing something drastic now if they want to win this. They are going to get... However, this is a very nice engagement, but once again, Blitzcrank is the one that gets a shutdown.
I think Blue Team doesn't even care. They were just winning this fight without any problems.
I'm not sure. Oh my. Well, oh, this is 30 seconds they're down. This is quite bad for Alloy. Nocturne is getting somewhat low, but if they can
He
wait
is not vital.
if he can wait a few more seconds for Vladimir to get it as well. Tarek had to flash out there. Is he gonna die? Is he gonna... Oh my. This is... Well, this is a bit awkward.
Not weird. They just
That...
sacrifice two people for Baron. That's weird.
This is quite odd. But Alloy cannot push an advantage even though two of them die to Baron. Although I wouldn't say Baron was worth it if you don't have it on your entire team at this point in the game. They could have spent that time that Alloy was aced much better, like pushing down a few more inner turrets, top or bottom. But just look at the goal difference. It is...
Yeah, it's like 14k.
I think, well, Blitz is making sure that everything's worded properly.
Yeah, this Swift Proper team is giving up.
I wonder what they're spelling. Well, unless a miracle happens, I do believe we can say that QMX is the winner of the first tournament for EU West.
Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
This is the final stand. And Talon is just absolutely ripping the entire enemy team to shreds, along with Misfortune. Riven is going for it, but sadly enough, Talon decides otherwise. And the surrender vote goes down, which makes it official that QMX is the winner, with Alloy taking second place. Let's see if we can actually spectate Mew versus LCY.